Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Double Pivot podcast. I'm your host, Muhammad Hamza here, and I have my good friend Vivek with me, who's a massive Chelsea fan. And today we'll talk about the coming season ahead for Chelsea and this and the job Lampard has been doing over the past year, and the really exciting transfer window that they've had this season. So Vivek, how are you doing?
All good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just before starting, I'd like the people who are watching to please like, share, and subscribe the channel. I mean, and it'll be much helpful for us to grow. So yeah, just putting it out. And
Where,
so
where, where's Abu Bakr?
Abu
We'll do it
Bakar
if Abu.
is right now taking care of the field stuff like
Okay.
promotions and stuff. He'll be here soon. So Vivek, so I want to start about like last year. I mean, Hazard was gone, and then Lampard came in. There was
Yeah.
real uncertainty. I mean, I certainly did not predict things to go well, but
Yeah.
it was a really good season for you all. What do you have to say about that?
So, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I mean, everybody knows that Hazard went, the transfer ban, blah, 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 all of that.
Yeah,
But I think if any, or rather, most of the Chelsea fans who followed the youth team players and their loan spells, or the youngsters in their, in the youth years with the Chelsea under whatever teams, the youth FA Cup and all of that, they knew we had a bunch of players coming through who had the potential.
yeah.
And if you recollect, I didn't think we are going to struggle as bad. So I thought top four we had a realistic chance of finishing top four, and I'm glad we ended up finishing there. So
I wanted to ask, like, what of Lampard? What made you think that Lampard would do well? Because I mean, I remember the squad also. There was that was probably last year. I personally thought that was like the worst in since Abramovich came, because there were so many young players. I mean,
yeah,
I certainly hadn't seen those young players. So I wanted to
okay.
know, like, what did you see, like, which made you think, okay, we will be all right?
Okay, I think a couple of things. One is on paper, it probably was the worst squad we've had since Abramovich has taken over.
Yeah,
Although I think the worst football or the worst we've ever played since he's taken over was under AVB
yeah,
after the initial period,
yeah. I
where
remember
there
that
was
time. Yeah,
absolutely nothing. I mean, I was still watching the games, but there's absolutely nothing we got out of the game.
right.
Uh, Last season, okay, let's look at the manager first. Again, I'm sure most Chelsea fans would have followed him at his year at Derby, and there was something there. And thing is, if you've seen him play throughout the years, you can tell that he wasn't somebody who was naturally gifted, but he had the intelligence.
Yeah,
And of course, not all players also become good managers. There's so many who don't, but there's something there. And if you saw his work at Derby, they were doing well. I mean, I know they didn't make it to the Premier League,
right.
and with all the transfer ban coming in and all, it seemed to fit with Chelsea. I don't know if any of the the renowned names wanted to take a chance, and also I think it was probably Chelsea's best chance of trying out something like this with the transfer ban and all of it.
Right,
Otherwise, I don't know if he would have got an opportunity so early in his career, and it clearly worked out well for us so far. And
right.
even last season, I think they did well with how they played football with the
Yeah,
team. And the youth team players, again, they proved themselves. It's not like he relied on them completely. Initially, yeah, most of them were playing almost every single game. Once they
yeah,
had that dip and we needed that experience to come through, he did move, he did play Giroud a lot more. And
yeah.
you saw Tomori didn't he barely got a game after in the second half of the season. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, again, in the start, I didn't expect him, but after seeing a few performances, I mean, I mean, was won over by Lampard, because he was like really good in managing the players. I mean, senior players and the younger players. And then even the playing style, I mean, it was like a high pressing style in Chelsea. Like, I mean, you could see there's an identity and there's something he's building on. So that was promising. Now moving on to
So
like,
before
yeah,
one sec, before
yeah,
we move on, like you said, the high pressing style. So one thing I noticed and I like, and it's something I always believed in is, I do think teams have a certain style of playing, and that's great. But you should. I think it's a great thing if you're also able to adapt to,
Yeah.
sometimes to who you're playing. If you genuinely know that the opposition you're playing is better than you at the moment, and to adapt. And I think in terms of formations as well as the way we set up, we were very flexible. Last season.
A bit like Liverpool, I think. Klopp has started to adapt, I think, last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you compare them with when they did the Gengen pressing, and then
Yeah.
and then later how they've showed it up at the back end game management things. Like, yeah, in a way, we still have a
Right.
few, we still
Yeah.
have some time to reach that stage, but
Yeah. I mean, then Champions League, obviously getting into the Champions League was big. I mean, I personally thought in the end the Chelsea will go through. Now, fast forward a few months, and then you have this dream of a transfer window. I mean, I can't imagine a transfer window like this in the recent time, where like there have been so many good players coming in. And
yeah.
then I wanted to ask you who's going to excite who are you excited by the most,
Wow.
and just the analysis of the whole window. I mean, 5 players coming in. I think. I mean, some
More
big
than, I mean, if you
ones.
include some of the boys who've gone to the youth team, now it's more than five.
Right.
And
I mean, yeah.
apparently we're not done yet. We still have
Yeah, I
one or
know.
two
That's what I
games
was
to
saying.
go
Yeah.
through. So it's still, the excitement's still there. I'm looking forward to the game more than anything, because even though I think few of them are still injured and when
Right.
unsure if they're going to start, we still have maybe 2-3 new players, coming
Right.
through.
But like, yeah,
Personally, I I don't know who I'm most excited with. The thing is, I'm excited with all of them. I
yeah,
think Ziyech has gone a little under the radar because of also signing Werner as well as
and Havertz. Yeah,
Havertz, and maybe in the long run Werner, Havertz, maybe they have higher potential or higher ceiling to reach. But at the
yeah,
moment, maybe Ziyech is like 27 and probably will hit his best years with us immediately. And the one game, preseason game that we did have, unfortunately, Ziyech picked up a small knock and he might be out for the first game. But
yeah.
you could see whenever he was on the ball, there was something happening. The
Right,
quality he has on the ball, and he's not like a traditional winger where I mean, he can dribble and take on a player, but it's not like he'll burst through down the wing and play the cross in. He makes that space for himself and finds the key pass.
right.
And the the switch of play that he's known for, and it showed. Like, I think he had like he did it in 5 times within the first half or so. I'm
Right.
looking forward to Ziyech.
So
I
like
also think
how do you think the team will set up in the once all these players are settled in? I mean, like, will Ziyech play on the right and then Werner through the
so.
middle
Okay,
and then Havertz behind him? Yeah,
so the way I see it, as a starting reference, yeah, maybe on paper, on as the paper that they
yeah,
submit with the formation and lineup, it'll
yeah,
probably be something like that, where Werner's up ahead and Havertz is behind him and Ziyech on the right and Pulisic on the left. Thing is, you also have to keep in mind that we have Loftus-Cheek, we have Kovacic. I mean, they're all
Mason
going to play,
Mount.
and
Yeah,
they are Mason Mount. They are going to rotate and they are going to play. But I think it's not going to be just the four starting all the games. It's not going to
yeah,
happen. The other
yeah.
thing is, back to the formation and the way they play. I don't think it'll be a rigid structure, and I, I think it'll be very fluid. Wherein
Fluid,
you've
yeah,
seen how last season. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but Werner, he wasn't an out and out striker last season. And even if you've seen the first preseason game that we played, he kept coming deep quite a bit. He
yeah,
went into spaces. And so the way I see it, maybe if, for example, if we think Werner starting ahead, and we think Havertz is behind him and Ziyech on the right and Pulisic on the left. Let's assume it's those four.
yeah,
I think it'll be something like, Werner going into. It's going to be fluid. I'm not saying he'll always go to
yeah,
the left, but he's
yeah.
going to move, vacate that space, and Havertz making in runs behind, and
Right,
Ziyech cutting in where he has a shot or a pass, and then there's a fullback. Maybe Reece James in the long run will take over that position. He'll
right.
do the overlap and play the crosses in, and Pulisic has the ability to take on a man 1v1. You know that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be rigid, set in stone. Like, this is how they're going to play. So let's see. And there will be teams where both somebody like Abraham or Giroud might start, to lead the line and play as the target man, and the
Yeah.
runners go through. Then,
I
so
mean, the attack looks pretty stacked. I mean, and in the midfield, I mean, you have Conte, you have Kovacic, and you have like good young players also coming in. I mean, so midfield also sorted. I mean, the main concern with Chelsea right now, obviously, everybody knows is the defense and the goalkeeper. I mean, they've bought Thiago Silva, and then they've bought Chilwell. how do you see the defense holding up this season for Chelsea? I mean, do you think there's
Um,
still some way to go, or like, are you confident they'll do better this
so
season?
let's reflect on last season for that.
Yeah,
There were two main ways we conceded most of the 50 odd goals we conceded. One is set pieces.
yeah,
The other thing is individual errors on the ball. So
yeah,
it was always a chance considering the way we wanted to play, playing out from the back most of the time. And yeah, there were errors, and I'm sure they'll all own up to it when talk to the word. But all four centre backs that we had, there is something they have something good about them as well.
yeah,
And yeah, there were errors as well, but there's something good about each one of them individually. And I think Thiago Silva is a good signing in that sense. It'll bring out the best in any of the partners that he plays. Thing is, I don't think he'll also play every single game. You
yeah.
have to realize he is
He's
35, and
36. Yeah,
even though he says I have another 5-6 years at this level,
yeah. No,
realistically,
I get it. Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
yeah.
And if it does, good. If we get 1-2 years out of him at that level, we've done well, especially considering
Right.
it's a free transfer. So if he can be that, what we think he might be, that organizer, that communicator, uh, I think that'll do well for
Yeah,
both Rudiger, Zuma. I think Tomori is going to go on loan.
yeah.
So
I think the Everton, there was talk of.
yeah, it looks like it's going
Yeah,
to happen.
yeah,
If not there, somewhere else, because we won't. I doubt we'll have 5 centre backs for the entire season.
yeah,
And so yeah, so centre backs I think shouldn't be a big issue. Um I'm hoping that some like Thiago Silva, if Thiago Silva is there, that
yeah,
will help bridge that errors or whatever they lack in rather. And even if he's not playing, even like at the training ground, if it it'll help to have a leader. And
right.
we'll see.
Definitely.
We'll see if I can't really tell it will happen. We'll have to see. Fullbacks, I think right side is sorted.
Yeah,
I think Reece James will develop into a really good player, and Aspilicueta is there as well. And he can play left back if you want to play defensively, but you lose out on a little bit of attacking side if you play him on the left. Although he did get like 6 assists last season, which is a great
yeah,
number for him. But if you watch the games, it's not just about that. It's a little wasteful in the positions that were there. So with Chilwell, I think is a good signing for the way we want to play. See, out and out as a defender, he's not bad 1v1, but he's not particularly great either
great.
defensively. With regards to attacking, see Alonso, I know people rate him, and he does have something good about him, and especially as a wingback, he offers a goal threat, but he isn't necessarily the natural crosser or somebody
Crosser.
who
Yeah,
gives you that width and creates genuine chances from the wing.
I know. Yeah,
So what Chilwell does do is he's not like a fullback who overlaps. He does most of these underlapping runs. I don't know if you're familiar with what an underlap is, but I'll just explain it just in case whoever watches
yeah,
is confused. So it's when generally a winger stays quite wide and isolates their opposition's fullback and centre back. There's space between the opposition centre back and their fullback. That happens if uh, our winger stays wide. And unless a midfielder drops into that space, there's space for the fullback to run into in between the opposition centre back and fullback. So last season, if you watched, mainly it was Harvey Barnes who played on the side. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes Madison played as well, and Chilwell made most of his runs into that space.
Into that
And
space.
again, Chilwell's good at playing two kinds of balls. One is from deep over the defense. When if somebody's playing a higher line,
Yeah,
playing the balls in behind to Jamie Vardy. And Werner will be good. I think Werner will be good at making those
really good
runs.
at that. Yeah,
So Chilwell should be good at doing that. The other thing is when he makes those underlapping runs into the box or just there, he's decent at making those cutbacks and finding the passes. Not necessarily like a Reece James type of crossing, but at the
yeah,
cutbacks. And so
for sure.
that might be another way of creating chances for us. So that's from the left back. Right back side, I think Reece James, what he does well.
I mean, but I'm like putting you on the spot. Like,
Yeah.
ideally, would you have signed another like proper centre back, someone like a Koulibaly, like to in the future or maybe down the line? For example, next year. I mean, you've already had 5
Yeah.
signings here. I mean, so
Mm.
if Lampard's going in with this team this year, and then back of the
So
mind, do you still want another centre back ahead down the line?
not at the moment, and because we've signed Thiago Silva, and again, I'm hoping we get 1 or 2 good years out of him. That'll be great.
Right.
Not at the moment. And thing with Koulibaly is Yeah, I think he was quite highly rated and all of that. Maybe if we got him a year or two ago, it would have been a great signing. But I, I've I do follow a lot of leagues, at least partly, not
Yeah,
necessarily all the
I
games
know
and all.
that. Yeah, I know
And
that.
Koulibaly has done well over the last 4 or 5 years, definitely. But I think he's hit that stage where from now it's going to be a slight gradual decline. I think I've seen a little bit of it even last season. It might sound, very critical,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think even if let's say Man City sign him, he's not going to have that. I don't think he'll have as much of an impact as let's say Van Dijk had at
Van Dijk at
uh,
Liverpool.
Liverpool. I don't think he'll
Yeah,
have that sort of an impact.
right.
But considering they are weak at their right-sided centre back position, it will help them for sure. So I'm okay with signing Thiago Silva for now, and I don't particularly like speculating, but I
Yeah,
do really like Declan Rice, and you know
yeah,
that he's been linked with us, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I get the feeling that if not this transfer window, maybe eventually
Next
I think
maybe.
he will
Yeah,
end up coming back at some point. And
yeah.
the thing with him though is I don't know if he long term if he'll be a defensive
Centre
midfielder
back.
or a
Yeah,
centre back. Thing is, in the youth teams and all, apparently he did play as a centre back. I've watched him quite a bit last season, especially, and I really like what I saw with regards to how he plays and how he operates, even with regards to communication and all of that. I don't know how good he is in the air yet. I
right.
mean, I've seen him win a few headers, but you don't necessarily get
Yeah,
challenged
he's not.
as you do at centre back. But having
Yeah,
said that, though, he is a good organizer, and on the ball too, he's improved a lot. So
right. I
I mean, in
mean,
the long run, I hope we do sign him.
yeah,
We'll see. Whether he plays
fascinating.
at centre back, CDM eventually, I don't know. We'll know.
Right.
We'll see.
I mean, and then the last thing, what's the keeper situation quickly? I mean, just before we move on.
Oh yeah. So keeper situation just before I think the podcast, I think Ren owner or somebody just said it's pretty much happening and it's just a matter of time. So
Okay.
I don't again he looks like a stopgap signing maybe for a
Yeah.
season or two. If he does well, maybe he'll continue.
Who exactly? I didn't get the name. Who?
Edward Mendy. He's so Ren
Is it?
qualified for Champions League, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Qualified for Champions
Okay.
League. So they had a good season last time around.
Okay.
So he's again. I mean, obviously, I've done my
Unknown
research
name.
and scouting,
Okay.
but it's still
Yeah.
just out of videos. I haven't watched Ren play as such.
Right. Right.
Uh, from from my research or whatever that I have done off YouTube and little bit of scouting reports and all of that. So he's 6'6", so that's already a significant difference from the keeper we have.
Right.
What he is good at, from what I've seen, is he's good with dealing with aerial balls, crosses, and all of that. I wasn't able to get. I got barely any footage of him with his feet, so I
Yeah.
don't know how his distribution is. Apparently, it's not one of his strengths. I don't know, but
Right.
again, handling what I've seen is, I mean, cross and all, he's handling it well, but shot stopping is good, but some of the times it's going into dangerous areas, the rebounds. And
Right.
from the footage that I've seen, he hasn't been punished, but it's
So I mean,
again,
he'll probably come and replace Kepa, or like both will probably be
I think
fighting.
he might. So I think they will fight for the position, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe unless Kepa puts together a couple of good performances, I think he'll take over. I mean,
Right.
based off of how Kepa did at the end of last season. Actually, not just like during the
Right.
season, he had like 1-2 good games. Apart from that, unfortunately, confidence plays a huge role, and it
Yeah.
works. I mean, your keeper also has an effect on your backline, and vice versa as well. So
Right.
no, maybe if somebody like Thiago Silva will help. Again, all of this sounds like what you hear online or any analyst say. We
Yeah. I
just have to
know.
wait and see.
Right.
Hmm.
And next, moving on, I needed to charge my laptop.
Yeah.
And then moving on, like, so now you've spent 200 million, or like you've bought players basically, and with that comes a little pressure. I mean, for the next season, for the coming season, what's like a good achievement for Chelsea? What do you want? Like, and in like, what does Abramovich want? Also, you think, like, for example, what will be a good season for him? Like, because he
Okay.
spent money now. I mean, in the past, he's been really like a knee jerk in sacking managers. So I don't think he'll sack Lampard. But what do you think is a good season for you? And like, what's
Okay.
the expectation?
Okay. So in the past, he knee jerk. I don't know if you. I mean, yeah, maybe some can call it knee jerk, but
Yeah,
results did come though. I mean, it seems
yeah, for
ruthless
sure.
to people like us, but results kept coming. Although, yeah, maybe that's the reason why we're in a position now where we had to rebuild the entire thing, and it's not like where we were sorted at any point for like the next 10 years. Although
Yeah.
that seems to be what they're trying to build right now. Uh, okay, yeah. Yeah. So for realistic goals, I
Yeah.
know last season top four wasn't something even the pundits at Sky Sports really anticipated, and I know it's part of the 3-year plan where they want to challenge for titles. But yeah, along with spending money comes the pressure, especially at Chelsea,
Yeah.
considering the last 2 decades or whatever. Um, Realistic goal, I think if they come closer to the top two,
Yeah.
closer as in even if they finish like 6 to 8, 9 points away from them, I think they would have
Right.
done well. And if they make a good cup run and win a competition, that'll be great.
Right.
That's realistically what they're probably expecting. But honestly, I think if things click quickly, I think we can mount a genuine title challenge. And
Right.
I know nobody's saying it, but I know some of them are thinking it. A lot of
Thinking.
people are
Yeah.
thinking it, but they don't want to put their neck on the line like that.
Yeah.
But I think we made some great signings, not just based on names, but based on the style of play that they're trying to build. This is
Yeah.
off from last season. I think the players fit in well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah,
something
I
to
can
go our
I can
way.
see a plan. I can see a
Yeah.
plan they're
So
working
I
towards.
think we can mount a challenge. I'm not ruling it out completely, is all I mean.
Right.
Because I'm sure when I'm not drawing parallels, but I'm sure when Conte came over, nobody thought he'll win it in his first season, right?
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah.
Um, so I'm not drawing parallels to that, but I wouldn't necessarily rule us out, considering we've kind of filled a lot of gaps in the squad.
I mean, I think it'll be a
So
big,
I
big,
was
big achievement if Lampard pulls that off. I mean,
Yeah, I was partly surprised with the number of signings we made. I did think we'll make couple,
yeah,
and I do see potential in players that we still have. As in, I still rate Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, Reece
yeah,
James. I rate a lot of those boys. Thing is, they do need to start
Tomori,
performing consistently, and
right?
so Tamori, he did well. I still don't know if he may or may not make it at Chelsea in the long run. He has a
Right.
long term contract, but I don't know yet if he will or will not make it.
Right.
I think the rest of the boys, if they don't make it, there'll be an element of disappointment to them as
Yeah.
well as Chelsea fans.
Right.
What they've shown coming through.
Yeah.
So I from the preseason game at least and the back end of last season, Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek have a little bit of catching up to do to what they've shown before. As in, I think that sharpness still wasn't back.
Yeah.
That confidence or sharpness of imposing themselves and doing what they actually are good at. They're just playing it a little safe, keeping it simple. So we'll see. I'm hoping they get a good string of games together and they can.
Right.
So
I mean,
yeah.
that's what again. Like, I mean, I think there's like a good blend of young players, players who are in their peak, and then there are few experienced players. So, I mean, Chelsea
So I
kind
think
of
even
scare me going ahead. But
even
yeah,
experienced players, I think only Thiago Silva is like older than
I mean,
in his
Aspilicueta,
35.
I was counting
Yeah,
Aspilicueta
yeah,
as
Aspilicueta. So
I mean, even
on
Conte. I mean, you can
yeah,
now
even so
put
I was getting to that next.
yeah,
So like the kind of players we have, honestly speaking,
Giroud,
at this very
yeah,
moment, I don't know who's a guaranteed starter, including the signings that we made, except
right,
N'Golo Kante. I
right,
don't think even one of them is a guaranteed starter.
right,
I mean, initially you might have the transfer signings playing a few games. I mean,
yeah,
maybe Chilwell when he's completely fit and if we're playing four at the back, for sure he'll start. But again, if he's for few games, if we switch it to three at the back and with wing backs, who knows?
yeah,
Alonso might start.
right.
So yeah, I think
I
only
mean,
Kante is a guaranteed starter. N'Golo Kante.
yeah, I mean, and then the Giroud also. So there's a good spine. So like I said, Chelsea kind of scare me. Maybe they'll peak in the next season, but still promising things for Lampard. I mean, and then let's looking to the first game. Like, how do you see it panning out versus Brighton? Lastly, before we go, I mean, for the
I mean, I'm not going
fantasy
to.
guys, who do you think is going to start? Like,
uh,
I mean, you
okay,
never know,
so
but like if you
yeah,
speculate, I
yeah.
mean,
So a couple of pointers, I guess. One, I don't play fantasy football,
yeah, I know,
so I
man.
don't know if it's any use asking me, even though I know how it functions.
I
Two,
know
I
that.
know that a lot of people get frustrated with Pep Guardiola, all of these fantasy players, because he keeps changing it.
Changing, yeah.
Get ready for that with Chelsea this
Oh
season
my
as
God.
well. And I thought Ziyech is a sure starter for first game and all, but apparently that knee knock is still unsure.
Okay.
So if he doesn't start, Havertz will start. because of
Right.
the number of fit players we have, it'll probably be Havertz and Hudson-Odoi, along with maybe Loftus-Cheek, Mount, one of them, or maybe both of them. I think Kovacic is still banned if
Right.
from the
Oh
red
yeah,
card
last
in
year.
the
Yeah.
cup final. So I
Yeah.
think he's banned. I'm not 100% sure. So if he's banned, that means both Mount and Loftus-Cheek also might start along with Kante.
Right.
So it's possible unless he starts Abraham up top and Werner on the left, and I really don't know. I have to wait and see. But having said that, though, whoever we start, I think we should get a win.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
Chelsea obviously favorites. Yeah. I
exciting!
mean,
I can't wait.
thank you so much, Vivek. It was a pleasure having you, and I hope to bring you on, and I hope you come on for further episodes. And
Hopefully.
it was really, really nice having
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having me, man.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
how many episodes did you tape so far?